The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my God, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares.
Recorded live at the Jerrad Show studios in Tampa, Florida. It's another episode of the Jerrad Show. And now, here's your host, Jerrad Suarez.
That's right. Back again for another episode of the Jerrad Show. Happy Thanksgiving! It's an extravaganza. Not necessarily because I have anything special planned for Thanksgiving, but it's an extravaganza because I call it one. Call in. 'Cause we are live. Ain't no recorded bullshit on Thanksgiving this year. This is fresh. Fresh like your turkey dinner. Or did you have turkey? Tell me. Call in. Tell me about your Thanksgiving. On Skype. Just my name, Jerrad Suarez. Call in. Tell me about your Thanksgiving. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Thanksgiving today. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. I woke up around 9 o'clock and just chilled out for a little while. Actually, a good while. Maybe a good 2 hours of just chilling, just hanging out, doing nothing. And I watched Leather Jacket Guy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this guy. He's an Irish guy, and he has a show called Are You Having That? Go ahead and look it up. That's fine. You can open up a back window and check it out right now. Leather Jacket Guy went live this morning on a live stream, and I was fascinated to see how much money people around the world were just throwing at this guy for no reason. There was a reason. He was like, I'll answer your questions if it's super chat, and if you super chat more than $10, you'll get a Christmas card, personalized Christmas card from them. Which, I mean, that's worth it, $10, I guess, if you're a fan of somebody, a creator of content that you enjoy. You can definitely send $10 and you're getting a little bit something back, you know? The Jerrad Show doesn't have any kind of that merchandise, though. No, there's nothing right now out there with the Jerrad Show logo on it, per se. But maybe that's something to venture into when I get into thousands of people listening to this show. I laugh in the background because that's never going to happen. Maybe if I keep it, I'm saying that sarcastic. Maybe if I think that I say that sarcastically, thousands of people will just pour in and start listening to the show. But doubtful. Maybe. See, that's me being sarcastic, or am I being wishy-washy? You decide. Anyways, it's Thanksgiving, and oh boy, did I overeat. And you know, sometimes people will come to you and they'll be like, oh, I ate too much food, I overeat, and I feel like crap when I do. Oh, this is terrible. And, yeah, you know, this wasn't one of those times. I had to go to 2 Thanksgivings today, and I mistakenly went back for seconds at the first one. It was so good. The mashed potatoes and the broccoli casserole were so delicious that I had to get another round, a double portion than I had the first time because it was so delicious. And killed those, and then I went straight to the desserts. They had some trifle thing, Heath Bar trifle with chocolate cake and Cool Whip and chocolate mousse and Heath Bar bits and toffee bits. It's so delicious. And I ate a big spoonful of that, large spoonful of that, and boy, I was already smacking the belly and saying, please, come on, we can fit some more in there on the ride over to the second Thanksgiving. But, man, I was wrong. I went light on the second Thanksgiving. I picked just a few things from a few dishes, and I tried them all. And I had to try a special dessert that was brought by the family at the second Thanksgiving that I was at today. So that means I had 2 desserts, and this dessert, the young lady who made it did an awfully awesome job. Awfully awesome indeed. Except the rum sauce that was on this cornbread pudding that she made. I was making jokes there, but let me get in close. The rum sauce that she put on this cornbread pudding. Now, do you think I'm going to tell you that it was absolutely to die for? No. She, poured an entire bottle of rum into this. It tasted like rum. She didn't give it time to cook off at all. It was terrible. I mean, it totally ruined the entire dish. The cake It was nice. It was good, but the topping glaze was so horrendous. I got drunk pretty much, I think, by eating my serving, and finally committed a Thanksgiving Day first. That's right. This is the only time in the history of Thanksgivings that I can recall. Actually, I know that this has never happened to me before. I finished the second Thanksgiving like a champ, stuck around a little bit, talked to everybody, said goodbye to everybody, and was falling asleep because I was falling asleep on a couch off this tryptophan. God damn it, it's real. The threat is real. Tryptophan will get you. So I said goodbye and I went home. And I got home. And as soon as I got home, I started feeling in the back of my throat, the sour, not on the back of the throat, but on the back of the mouth where the jaws connect. There was you know what I'm talking about, one of those, and then I was like, I think I definitely took it too far. I've got the sour taste, and now my mouth's filling up with saliva, and I was like, I gotta go to a toilet, and I stood over the toilet, and as saliva turned into water, and my ducts turned into fountains, I just started drooling out of my mouth, and I knew what was coming, and you probably know what was coming too. That's right. The first time on a Thanksgiving, I threw up after eating my food. I vomited into the toilet, and it was disgusting. It was a disgusting mixture because I didn't allow my time in between Thanksgivings. I literally finished the dessert at the first one, said goodbye, got in the car, headed to the next Thanksgiving, and was eating within 30 minutes. More eating. It was not smart. I thought I had prepared myself. I was going, I went to a Burger King on Sunday, between dinner and lunch. I made sure to stop in a Burger King, grab a double cheeseburger and an onion ring, just to get ready, just to know that I'm going to be able to fit all this food in my stomach. I started this on Sunday. And then Tuesday rolls around, and Tuesday comes, and I'm standing at the gas station getting gas, waiting to pay for my gas, and I say to myself, that pizza just is coming out of the oven, isn't it? And I look over, and I see steaming pizza, and the lady is cutting it with a large wooden roller cutter thing. Looks like a bat lift that the Klingon would wield almost, but it's pizza. It's for pizza because it's got the grease all over it. And she sliced up the pizza. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take one of those because I've got Thanksgiving this week. And I'm going to stretch this stomach out as much as I possibly can through the hours of 2 and 6 p.m. And so I thought I was on a roll. Last night, I even polished off half of a sandwich of my girlfriend. That she ate half of this big sandwich, and she was like, I'm done. I can't eat this other one. She put it in the fridge for me, and I was like, no, I want to eat that because I'm going to eat my large sandwich and then eat half of your large sandwich. I'm preparing the gullet, as they will. And it just didn't work out for me. I tried. I pushed hard. I got everything that first go round, though. The ham. I got the Brussels sprouts with bacon and Parmesan. I got potatoes and turkey and more ham. And then I went right back for seconds, and I think that second plate of the sides and the more ham really, really put me in a bad place. And also I think that the alcoholic dessert that I ate was also not a good idea. Just bad idea. But luckily it wasn't something that was too bad. I still feel pretty good now once I got rid of it. If you're out there and you're listening and you tuned in, you can Skype me, Jerrad Suarez on Skype, and tell me how your Thanksgiving was, because I want to know. You can also leave some tweets. I've got everything open right now if you want to connect with the show. It's just dead air because it's Thanksgiving and people are spending time with their families. Well, you know what? I spent a lot of time with my families today, and now I'm doing a podcast. That's what I'm doing now. So, interesting development from last night. I told you about last year's wardrobe, in which I wore a hilarious Donald Trump t-shirt, and he just looked like a badass, just like the most awesome badass you've ever heard of. And this year was a little bit different. I went with a salmon-colored button-up, some khaki shorts, and a pair of Nike Air Max from Back to the Future 2. Yeah, that's right, with the lights. The lights were lit, and it was a little bit rainy, so I was a little bit worried about that. But thankfully, when we got there, it was just barely sprinkling, and we parked very close to the concrete, so we didn't have to walk very far. And I wore the Back to the Future shoes. They were so awesome. Everybody loved them. Unlike last year, where people wanted to throw me in the pool for my choice of attire, this year I was getting compliments left and right. The babies loved the shoes, probably because they look like, baby shoes with the lights on them. But everybody loved the shoes. Some people just loved making fun of me for wearing the shoes, which is okay. That's one of the reasons why I probably wore them. So so you could have a little bit of fun giving me jabs about my funky shoes. The only problem is, I have a size 13 foot, and these things were obviously created for about a size 8. I would suggest, or not suggest, I would assume that these shoes were originally created for maybe a size 8, maybe a size 9 if you're stretching it. But at size 13, they just look like giant pillows on my feet, almost like clown shoes with lights. My girlfriend hated the shoes. She wanted me to take them off as soon as I put them on. And these are shoes that I'd got online on eBay maybe I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I'd never worn them. And I was like, you know what? Last year I wore the Trump shirt. This year I'm wearing the Air Max. I'm wearing the Marty McFlys. And I don't know, it was pretty fun to watch people have a reaction to my shoes. Some people said they look like orthopedic shoes. The younger crowd all gave me compliments. They liked it, and that's pretty good. I don't think I'm pretty sure everybody has seen Back to the Future 2 that was there. It would be pretty crazy if there was somebody that was there that has never seen Back to the Future 2. And if you haven't seen Back to the Future 2, give me a call now. That's right, on Skype, Jerrad Suarez. And we could talk about Back to the Future. We could talk about whatever you want. How about, do you like cranberry sauce? I do not like cranberry sauce. Love cranberry juice. It's very good for your body. But cranberry sauce, I don't understand how it's 2017 and we're still serving cranberry sauce in the mold of a can. It just comes out of the can and you do like slices. Do people like that shit? You're supposed to heat it up, right? You're supposed to put it in a saucepan, get it a little bit warm, and then you serve it like that. You don't put it as a slice. Maybe that's just my family. Haven't been to very many other families' Thanksgiving just because mine is such a staple of my year. It's like Thanksgiving and Christmas are the two big holidays. Christmas Eve, in fact, not Christmas. Christmas Eve, Buena Noche, as some Latins call it. We do the whole roast pork thing on Christmas Eve, and it's a big deal. But Thanksgiving, it's one of those times. I'm telling you, I had a great time today. But I still don't understand why people serve cranberry sauce right out of the can. Is it tradition? Does your family do that? Give me a call now. It's just nobody's fucking calling. This is choice. Anyways, some people do like cranberry sauce, and I've seen cranberry sauce done different ways, and cranberries are also incorporated into multiple dishes. There was a cranberry salad at the second Thanksgiving with like apples and Jello and all kinds of stuff. And I think there was also a compote of cranberries and figs. Cranberry fig compote. Is that how you say that? Of course it is. I have the culinary training. I know that it is compote. I think cranberries in food form. I do like a cranberry orange muffin. You know what I'm talking about with that orange zest in there? I like cranberry orange muffins. And cranberry juice is delicious. And then all the variations of cranberry juice. Cran apple. You got a cran grape. Yeah, I'm literally naming off cranberry juices right now in the podcast. That's what this is about. It's an extravaganza. The Jerrad Show. Live. Thanksgiving extravaganza. Why am I live? I just decided to do this. And, I wanted something different. Maybe a little bit of a challenge. Maybe be able to set myself to a schedule to stick to and do it every day. And you know what they say is that if you fucking do shit over and over again, you just obviously get better at it eventually, right? I mean, if it takes you 40 years to get better at something that you're doing every day, I mean, should you take those 4 years or 40 years to hone said craft, or should you give it up after a couple of years? Call now. It's the Jerrad Show. Yeah. So, anyways, casseroles. Let's talk about casseroles for a little bit. Thank you. We're gonna talk about broccoli casserole. Do you like broccoli casserole? I love it, especially because it's like minimal broccoli, maximum cheese. You get a lot of cheese, some Campbell mushroom soup in that sucker. Oh man, I think there's even a scoop of hearty mayonnaise. And mayonnaise is great when you're cooking. I don't know if you know this. It might be gross when it's raw on a sandwich or something to you, but when you're cooking, it turns into something completely different. It makes everything creamier, a more rich flavor. Because if you think about it, it's mostly eggs, and eggs are delicious in just about anything. And I think it's really hard to cook the eggs that are in mayonnaise. So, I mean, that's what your problem is when adding eggs to sauces and stuff like that. It always cooks the eggs. It's very easy to cook the eggs. That's what you don't want to happen. And I think just throwing some mayonnaise in there is a lot easier, and it's tastier. I like it. And I think that is what is in my favorite dish of Thanksgiving. That's right, broccoli casserole. With a close second being green bean casserole with the French fried onions on top. Also, mashed potatoes, that's your Thanksgiving staple right there. You can't have Thanksgiving without smashing up some potatoes. Also, another Thanksgiving first this year for me, I had a traditional oyster stuffing. That's right, stuffing with oysters in it, and it was delicious. I do like oysters, and I've always eaten them since I was a kid. I remember going to restaurants with my dad and eating raw oysters. So I was totally down to try some oyster stuffing. And I know that it is a staple of it's a staple of Thanksgiving. I mean, it's that and corn. So I mean, not a staple, but those were the ones on the first Thanksgiving, right? They ate oysters the first Thanksgiving and corn and all these other things that we don't eat anymore. So it was nice to be able to try something from a Thanksgiving tradition that I had never tried before. And I also kind of screwed up a little bit. At the first Thanksgiving that I was supposed to go to, one of two, we were tasked with bringing an item. We were specifically asked to bring bacon-wrapped chestnuts, if you remember from last night's episode. And those came out awesome. They were fantastic. Everybody loved them. But if you remember last night's episode, I also mentioned that I was bringing a little bit of buffalo chicken dip. And I got there right on time, maybe 10 minutes late. And there wasn't many appetizers set up. I think there was shrimp cocktail and some chips and salsa. So I busted out my platter of delicious crackers and buffalo chicken dip. And everybody loved it. It was delicious. I threw a little bit of parsley on top of it. And that is until I was told that somebody was bringing buffalo chicken dip. And they showed up very late, heated up some buffalo chicken dip in the microwave. And apparently it was homemade, though. This wasn't none of that public stuff. This was homemade. And it was terrible. I'm very happy that the person who brought this, I'll call her she, that she brought the buffalo chicken dip and contributed, but it was horrific. The sour cream had curdled in the hot sauce. It was, I couldn't even taste. I didn't even know what I was biting into. Apparently there was chicken in it. I didn't taste any chicken in it. And it just tastes like a cottage cheese. I think she put cottage cheese in it. And that was horrific. It was just curdled. It was really bad. It was not a creamy, because Publix makes with the New Chantel cheese, which I guess is how you pronounce it, the sour cream, hot sauce, and that's it. And chicken. That's all they do. There's no fucking cottage cheese in there. And guess what? It is delicious. Because sour cream and hot sauce are two things that go together. I don't know. I kind of felt bad because my chicken dip was completely cleaned out. Of course. I mean, it's not my chicken dip. That's why it was a hit. And she still had at least 3/4 of a giant bowl of this fucking cottage cheese fucking madness. Who does that? Stop it. All right. Get the fuck out of here. It's Thanksgiving, for God's sake. I'm going to go hang out with the family. Just kidding. I'm probably just going to go downstairs and hang out and eat some leftovers. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Jerrad Show. If you tweeted during the show, hit me up after the show at Jerrad Show. To everybody else, the Facebook is facebook.com/Jerrad Show. And, get ready for tomorrow's show. It's the Black Friday special. You thought I was going somewhere with that. No, I'm not I'm not touching anything like that. It's the Black Friday special. The Black Special Friday. Only here on The Jerrad Show. I'll get to tell you all about my Black Friday-ing. But thanks for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow, 9 o'clock. And, be there or be square. Or be there and be square, because I like square people. That's right. Not none of those elongated people or rounds. Just the squares. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, folks. I'm out.